People, there's a there's a grouping of people of St. Lucians who contributes significantly, in my opinion, to the stability of this country and to the economy of this country, which I find is not highlighted enough. And that group is the group of St. Lucians or Caribbean people who live in North America and in Europe and contribute to the financial stability of the people in their country, their family members, their friends, and others. So many times you listen to budget debates and you hear politicians gloat and make a big deal about a 0.0000001% increase in GDP. And a lot of times when they talk about these increases, these are things that you do not even see the effects of those things on the populace. But they make a big deal about that. But I'm not hearing enough of the contributions of the people, our people who left our shores and went overseas. I'm not hearing enough of their contribution. These people contribute significantly towards the stability of this country. And I do not want to imagine for a second what the situation, the crime situation would have been like if people were not getting remittances from overseas. There are people who get monthly stipends from family members and friends overseas. There are people who get other contributions, food supplies from these barrels that they send to the country. And these things make a significant difference. Some of these people send monies to construct houses in the country. And these things make a big difference. Had these monies not been coming to this country, there would have been even more crime in this country. Even more. But what we see now is a situation where it appears that these countries overseas, the North in the United States, Canada, England, and those places, observe now that they are carefully monitoring, or it has been happening for a while now, carefully monitoring legal monies that people are sending to their families or to handle their businesses in our countries. Legal money that they have worked hard for, but they're telling them that they're sending money too often through Western Union, or they're sending money too often from through whatever company. The worst thing sometimes is when people want to send large sums of money from one bank to our local banks here. And people fail to realize that these are tactics and techniques that these other countries use to try to kind of prevent you from sending your money to your country. They are trying to control the monies. They believe that there is too much money leaving their countries to go to the third world countries, and they come with all kinds of laws. Always observe, these people are always the ones that are coming with the laws. It is never we. We are never the ones coming up with anything. They are always coming up with laws to put us at a disadvantage. And the bad thing about it is our people, they enforce those things without question. They behave like these laws are God sent. They behave as if they are more serious about enforcing the laws than the lawgivers themselves. And so we have to look at these anti-money laundering laws, because At the surface, they make you believe that these laws are there to prevent drug dealers from moving money across countries. But it is more than that. This thing has nothing, in my opinion, to do with drug dealers. This thing has to do with people believe that too much money is leaving North America to come to these other islands. And if these monies were to stay in their country, it would have been better for them. So they're coming up with all kinds of rules and laws and, hiding it on the anti-money laundering laws just to affect the monies that we receive from our own works, from our own people. We as a people need to re-examine these anti-money laundering laws, because a lot of these anti-money money laundering laws, they do not benefit us. They do not benefit our economies, and too often we just accept every law, every statute, every agreement that North Americans put on us. We just accept it. Look at how they had this thing where they were sending people from overseas, from North America, to go to the forest and burn marijuana. For years they have been doing that. Burn marijuana, take samples, take to their places. So in one of these major universities at Mississippi, they have a major marijuana research facility there. All the time they're asking you to burn, they're sending guns to you, soldiers, helicopters, to burn your marijuana. They have developed over many years a multi-billion-dollar marijuana industry. Whereas we were sending people to Mount Jimmy and everywhere to trouble people. We have to look at these laws. Anytime North America and England and those places come in with laws and their agreements, we have to look at that carefully. Most of these agreements do not benefit us. And these anti-money laundering laws, we have to look at these things. These things are not in our favor. These are not in our favor. We are benefiting from the monies that are remitted to these countries, and we cannot just go and sign documents and accept for people to tell our people, you have sent in too much money for the year or whatever period of time, you can't send again. You're monitoring people for sending their own money to their country. And imagine we as a country accepting that, our prime ministers accepting that in the Caribbean, for these people to tell us that, to tell our people that they're sending money to our country, that is their money they work for, and there's a problem when they want to send it to our country. That's not the reason why we elect people. We elect people to represent us at all levels. And the CARICOM. CARICOM need to address that thing. You see that anti-money laundering thing that's going on there? That has nothing to do with drugs. That has to do with trying to keep the people poor, keep the fire burning.